promise me that you'll get me back in one piece?
Okay, I promise.
You know that guy's not going to make it, right? I mean, I'll bring him home in one piece, alright. He just won't be alive when I do. Or else it'll be a leg or something small that I get to bring home. Hey, what's up, guys? How you all doing? So, War Stories, the single player element of Battlefield 1. Footage of which we got to have a glimpse at when EA released the trailer for Battlefield 1's single player a few days ago. Footage that you're hopefully seeing right now. Stories that you get to play through the eyes of several different characters. DICE and EA want us to have a more personal journey and hopes that these stories will have us emotionally attached or invested to each of these players and each of their journeys. For me, it's what a single player campaign should be, right? I mean, I want it to be an emotional roller coaster. I want to feel attached. I want to remember these characters. It makes it much more enjoyable. The last thing you want is to complete a single player campaign and 20 minutes later you can't even remember the names of any of these characters. Battlefield 4's single player was like that for me, and I still can only remember the name of one of those guys, and that's because his name was Irish and I'm fecking Irish. Also, he was Omar in The Wire, so that helped, but he didn't whistle once, so disappointed. Now, this time around, the game won't be just focusing on one main character that moves all over the place. We will get to play out multiple stories from across the globe featuring different people in different theatres of World War I, which I'm really excited about. The scale and size of World War I was just immense. Now, one of these stories is called Mud and Blood. Spoiler alert, maybe don't listen if you don't want to know any of this, but Mud and Blood is a story that focuses on a young volunteer British soldier who is thrown into the heat of battle with a tank crew as their driver, but he has no experience. So he needs to quickly learn in order to keep himself and his crew alive while also trying to earn their trust. So before the war he was a chauffeur driver, and now he's fighting for his life in a tank with people who I guess initially don't trust him, and he needs to earn that trust. They've also given us the option as to how we decide to play these missions. Think on your feet, react when things go wrong or when shit hits the fan, decide how you want to advance in these stories. And the example we're given is during Mud and Blood we find ourselves on foot in a foggy forest trying to clear out enemy encampments to protect our tank. You can do it either stealthily with melee kills, or you can go ham with grenades and blow everything up. Now, you know I'm going to be chucking those hot potatoes. I'm not much of a stealth guy, it's just head first into the fray of action. Now, you can also choose whether or not you want to destroy their weapon caches, or you can use them against advancing enemy units. So we've been given an option and not just following a straight line of going from point A to B and then completing an objective and moving on. You can do it in different ways. Now, from a personal standpoint, I want these stories to be as dark as possible. I don't want romanticized stories where everyone makes it and it's all a happy ending. World War I was terrifying. I mean, millions of people lost their lives. Nothing about it was really romantic. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm hoping that these stories will get us to take part in and to show. But again, that's just what I want. Let me know what you guys are hoping for with these stories, and here is a brief overview of some of the other stories and their names. So also another spoiler alert. Hopefully if you didn't want spoilers, then you're not here still listening to this. And if you are, then get the feck out. Now, there is a story called Friends in High Places, which sees you taking to the skies to battle against German pilots during a time when they had air superiority, experience intense dogfights, unexpected encounters and friendship. And friend, I really want and expect the Red Baron to feature in this one. I'd be really sad if he doesn't. Now, the next story is called Nothing is Written, and in this story you get to play the right hand of Lawrence of Arabia, a warrior on horseback who takes on the might of the Ottoman Empire, being pitted against a more technologically advanced opponent, I guess swords against guns, where you need to eventually destroy their deadly railgun. Now, the next story is called Avanti Savoia. Now, hopefully I didn't destroy that name or murder it. You're a soldier in the Arditi, an Italian mountaineer force who are in a battle on top of the snowy Alps in a struggle against Austrian forces trying to gain control of a strategic force. For this story, I'm kind of expecting limited visibility. Playing Operation Locker or Operation Clusterfuck in Battlefield 4 made me realise that playing in the snow is a real pain in the ass. If you played it, then you know exactly what I mean. The final story that we know about is called The Runner. Now, they might add more in future DLCs, and I'm pretty sure they will, but this one is a story that will focus on the Gallipoli landings, or Anzac Day, where over 500,000 men took part in a naval invasion. We get to play as a runner or a messenger who's taking messages to the front line that will determine life or death for all involved. We'll also get to take part in or witness the actual beach landing, which should be pretty damn good to see. Now, there's going to be plenty of cinematics in each one of these stories to, I guess, help us get to know each of the protagonists and give us a kind of an emotional attachment. And it all sounds great, and I can't wait to jump into it and see how exactly each of these stories play out. But at the same time, having played Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4's campaign, I'm not going to set my expectations too high or set the bar too high. So hopefully I'll be blown away and proved wrong. Let me know what you guys think of the War Stories trailer for Battlefield 1 and what you're hoping for this single player campaign. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Battlefield 1, and as always, thanks very much for watching.